Hello, everybody, and welcome to our special report, Desperate for Relief, Healing for Headaches. I'm Joyce Evans, and we're going to be looking at an invisible disease that most patients and not even their doctors can recognize. It's more than a headache.
It just seems to just waft all over me.
If I get them like in the temple area.
Throbbing most of the time.
More like this area right here.
It's not like a pounding headache, it's just a steady, constant sort of,
Fact is, most people have no idea exactly what's causing the pain in their head, says Penn Medicine neurologist Roderick Spears.
I don't think they do. I don't think doctors necessarily know how to diagnose headaches very accurately based on the data. So I don't think people know what types of headaches they have.
He says headaches caused by tension, lack of sleep, hunger, illness, and some allergies are common.
Arms up straight like this.
But quite often, headache specialist Bill Young at Jefferson Health says those headaches are much more.
It's about a 95% chance that if somebody says, I keep getting these sinus attacks over and over again, it's migraine.
Most people have experienced some headache or other, but people who experience migraine, it's a whole different beast.
A genetic beast passed down through the family of Jefferson Health neurologist and migraine patient, Courtney White.
The nervous system is sending signals it's not supposed to. I know for me, definitely the fatigue is probably the most debilitating part of my migraine disease.
Fatigue is just one of the many awful symptoms of migraine that may accompany a relentless headache, symptoms that can be mild to absolutely disabling. And you don't have to look far to find somebody hurting.
I get headaches almost every single day.
And it's probably like once or twice a week.
The headaches are so severe that sunlight will bother me.
I mean, sometimes I power through.
You feel sick, your eyesight's blurry.
And I pretty much just have to lay down and ride it out.
Sometimes I won't go away for days.
It's completely different for different people, and that's what's so interesting and so challenging about it.
Add to that a devastating stigma attached to people suffering silently in the dark.
Because that's what people are expected to do for a headache. So if you're debilitated by a headache, you're seen as weak or you're seen as lazy. And so people don't want to talk about it.
Deborah Turk nearly lost it all. Karen Johnston can relate.
I knew I wasn't imagining it anymore. I thought, I have to be making this out to be worse than it is. Nobody else is telling me they experienced this. So it can't really be this bad, right?
And it can be worse. It's invisible. No sign of any trouble deep inside for most people, desperate to find some cause and some relief.
This is a normal MRI, which is very typical of people who have migraine. It's not due to any lesions or any spots there, any tumors, but rather it's just the functioning of the nerves.
So it remains grossly underdiagnosed, misdiagnosed, undertreated, and way underfunded. Still, in this country, the numbers we know about migraine are staggering. Close to 40 million people are suffering with it, in 1 out of every 4 households. 18% of them are women, 6% men, and 10% are children.
Migraine is extremely common. It's actually more common than asthma and diabetes combined, just to give you an idea of the numbers. It tends to hit people in the most productive years of their life.
Typically late teens to mid-40s, but not exclusively. Renee Marshall says she suffered much more in her preteen years. She nor her parents had any idea why.
It was scary, that's one thing, because you kind of feel like, oh my gosh, like what is going on with me? The tunnel vision is scary, or literally it's like black spots.
Likely what's called a migraine aura, which doctors say can sometimes feel and look just like you're having a stroke. Renee says her headaches are a lot better now. It's about the same for Margie Evans.
To me, it just fits the description of, if there's such a thing as a category of mild, versus a severe migraine. I just feel like it's kind of a self-diagnosis.
Now, Margie admits she never sought out a professional diagnosis to know for sure. In fact, only 2 of the women we randomly spoke with told us that they were diagnosed with migraine and that they had received some form of treatment.
I take sumatriptan So I take it as soon as the onset of the migraine, and it definitely helps.
Botox, I will say, I've tried that and I didn't have a headache for almost 3 months.
And how do the others find relief?
Tylenol, extra strength Tylenol. I also do sometimes like a ice pack on my head.
You just pop a Advil and kind of move on with your day.
And when that's not enough,
For anything a little stronger, it's 2 Tylenols and 3 ibuprofens at one time.
doctors say those methods of self-medicating often do more harm than good over time, worsening efforts to find a prescribed treatment that may help you.
I've been living with it for almost 20 years.
I remember feeling desperate. That if this doesn't work, I don't know what else I'm gonna do.
So what can anyone really do to manage migraines? That's next.